We are counting down the top 10 proven reset tricks that can resolve the most common car issues for free. From full system reboots that revive stubborn electronics, to quick hacks that restore lost comfort features, these methods are ranked for their safety, effectiveness, and how much hassle they save you at the mechanic. Which technique claims the top spot as the ultimate free fix? Let us get started with number 10. Disconnecting your car's battery is the classic reset that can bring a dead dashboard or a stubborn check engine light back to life. Start by turning off the ignition and grabbing a wrench. Most cars use a 10mm socket for the battery terminals. Always remove the negative cable first to avoid accidental sparks, then unhook the positive. Once both cables are off, wait at least 15 minutes. This pause isn't just a formality. Inside your car's electronics, capacitors need time to fully drain. That wipes out any lingering memory in the engine control unit. On many models, including the VW Golf, this simple step can snap the car out of limp mode after a minor glitch. When reconnecting, attach the positive cable first, then the negative. Be ready for a few side effects. Radio presets may vanish, and some European cars might trigger immobilizer warnings. For most drivers, though, a full battery disconnect is a powerful way to reboot the system without spending a dime. Next up, less invasive ways to clear those codes. Plugging in a budget OBD2 scanner, often priced between $20 and $60, opens a window into your car's hidden language. These handheld tools connect to the diagnostic port, usually found beneath the dashboard, and pull up both stored and pending trouble codes. With a few button presses, the scanner displays not just the code, but freeze-frame data, a snapshot of engine conditions when the fault appeared. For example, a Toyota Camry with an EVAP system warning might show a pending code P0440, meaning the computer has noticed an issue but has not locked it in as a confirmed fault yet. Clearing codes with the scanner is fast and targeted, erasing only the flagged errors without wiping out your radio presets or clock settings. But there is a catch. After clearing, the car's emissions readiness monitors reset to not ready. In states with strict smog checks, this can lead to a failed inspection unless you complete a full drive cycle. Still, for many drivers, a basic scanner offers a precise, low-cost way to tackle warning lights without ever touching the battery cables. Sometimes a single stubborn module can freeze up, locking out your windows, radio, or even your power seats. Instead of disconnecting the whole battery, there is a more precise fix: the fuse pull and reseat. The process starts with your owner's manual. Every fuse box has a legend, often printed inside the cover or in the manual's electrical section. To target a specific module, like the body control or infotainment system, match the label and amperage rating. Never substitute a higher amp fuse, since that risks wiring damage. Once you've found the right fuse, use a plastic puller or needle nose pliers to gently remove it. Wait 30 to 60 seconds. This pause cuts power to the module, forcing a hard reset without disturbing other systems. While the fuse is out, inspect the metal link for any signs of burning or corrosion. If it looks intact, reseat it firmly in place. Many times, the frozen module springs back to life within seconds of restoring power. This method isolates the reset to just the affected system, so there is no need to reprogram radio presets or worry about immobilizer warnings. It is a safer, more targeted approach than pulling the battery, and for many modern cars, it is the first thing technicians try before reaching for the scan tool. When your car's touchscreen freezes or the radio locks up, there is a faster way to reboot than pulling fuses or disconnecting the battery. Most modern vehicles let you perform a soft reset on the infotainment system with just a button combo. No tools, no hassle. On many models, holding the power and volume buttons together for exactly 10 seconds triggers a full system restart. The display will go dark, then the brand logo appears as the software reloads. Unlike a hard power cut, this method preserves your radio presets, Bluetooth pairings, and navigation memory. For example, in a Honda Civic or Ford Escape, Pressing and holding both the audio power and home buttons for 10 seconds clears a frozen screen or laggy menus without erasing saved settings. Some cars, like certain Toyotas, use a combination of power and eject. This soft reset clears out temporary glitches and refreshes the system cache, much like restarting a smartphone. It is the quickest fix for unresponsive head units, and it avoids the risk of tripping security systems or losing your custom configurations. For most drivers, this 10-second trick restores full function in less time than it takes to pull out the owner's manual. Electronic throttle bodies change the way cars respond to the gas pedal. Instead of a simple cable, most modern vehicles use sensors and a small electric motor to control airflow. After a battery disconnect or code clear, the car's computer can lose track of how far the throttle plate should open at idle or when you press the pedal. That is when a throttle body relearn becomes essential. The process is simple, but it requires careful timing. Start by turning the ignition key to the on position, engine off, and leave it there for 2 full minutes. This gives the engine control unit time to recalibrate the throttle's baseline position. Next, press the accelerator pedal to the floor 3 times in quick succession. On many models, this sequence signals the computer to store new idle and pedal values. Wait for the check engine light to blink or for the idle to stabilize, then turn the key off. Some cars will need a gentle 5-minute drive, avoiding hard acceleration, to finish the adaptation. If the engine stumbles or idles rough after a reset, skipping this step can leave you chasing phantom problems. Unlike old cable systems, drive-by-wire setups rely on these procedures to relearn how you drive. Getting it right restores smooth idle and crisp throttle response without a trip to the shop. Automatic transmissions have grown far more complex over the last 2 decades, relying on adaptive software to tailor shift patterns to each driver's habits. When strange shifting or hesitation crops up, especially after a battery disconnect or major repair, a transmission adaptation reset can set things right without a trip to the shop. The process is straightforward. With the engine off, turn the ignition key to the on position for about 10 seconds, then switch it off again. Repeat this key cycle 2 or 3 times. This clears the transmission control module's memory of learned shift points and clutch pressures. But that is only the beginning. The real magic happens during the next drive. For the first 10 minutes, keep acceleration gentle and avoid sudden throttle changes. The transmission's computer carefully monitors throttle input, vehicle speed, and load, gradually relearning how to deliver the smoothest shifts. It is not an instant fix. Full adaptation can take anywhere from 50 to 100 miles of mixed driving. During this period, it is normal to notice odd or firmer shifts as the software tests different strategies. Most drivers report a noticeable improvement in smoothness and responsiveness once the learning phase is complete. While this reset will not cure mechanical wear or major faults, it often resolves jerkiness, delayed upshifts, or harsh engagement that appeared after a reset or repair. For anyone tackling drivetrain glitches beyond the engine, this adaptation process is a cost-free way to restore proper shifting. Just remember to drive with patience as the system relearns your style. Low tire pressure warnings are among the most common and most ignored lights on a modern dashboard. After rotating tires, fixing a flat, or even just topping off air, the tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS, often needs a reset to clear the warning. Every car built after 2008 in the United States includes TPMS, but the reset process is not always obvious. Start by checking the factory placard, usually found on the driver door jamb, for the recommended pressures. For most sedans and crossovers, 32 psi is the baseline, but always follow the exact numbers printed for your model. Inflate each tire to match, including the spare if it has a sensor. With the tires set, look for a small button labeled Set or bearing the TPM S symbol, often under the dash or in the glove box. Turn the ignition to on, but do not start the engine. Press and hold the button until the TPM S light blinks slowly, usually about 3 to 5 seconds. On some cars, the light will flash 3 times, then go out. Others require a short drive at speeds above 15 miles per hour for up to 10 minutes before the system relearns the new pressures. If the warning stays on, double check for a slow leak or a faulty sensor. Some vehicles skip the button and use a menu in the dashboard settings, while a few require a dedicated scan tool to wake up new sensors. For most drivers, a simple button hold or a quick drive is enough to clear the light and restore full monitoring. Ignoring a TPMS warning is not just annoying, it can mean driving on a dangerously underinflated tire. Resetting the system after service keeps your car safe and your dashboard free of false alarms. Power windows on today's cars rely on a memory system that tracks exactly where the glass stops at the top and bottom of each cycle. When this memory slips after a battery change, a blown fuse, or a sudden jam, the automatic up and automatic down features can stop working. Instead of living with a window that only moves in short bursts, a simple reset can restore full function in less than a minute, no tools required. Start by turning the ignition to the on position, but don't start the engine. Lower the affected window all the way down using the switch, then release. Next, pull the switch to raise the window and keep holding it up after the glass reaches the top. Count to 5 slowly. This extra hold tells the window control module to relearn the upper limit. Some cars may require the same 5-second hold at the bottom, so check your owner's manual if the first attempt does not work. In most cases, the automatic up and automatic down features come back instantly once the limits are reprogrammed. What is happening behind the scenes is a quick recalibration. The window motor senses resistance when the glass hits the stop, and the module stores this position as the new endpoint. If the motor overheats, often after repeated resets, give it a few minutes to cool before trying again. This reset not only brings back the one-touch feature, but can also fix pinch protection errors or windows that bounce back down unexpectedly. For drivers, it is a satisfying fix, comfort and convenience restored with a 5-second trick. No mechanic or scan tool needed. Climate control glitches can turn a smooth drive into a guessing game. When hot air blows from one side and cold from the other, or the vents refuse to switch between floor and defrost, the culprit is often a confused blend door actuator. Modern cars use small electric motors to direct airflow and mix hot and cold, but these actuators can lose their place after a battery swap, a blown fuse, or even a brief power interruption. Instead of tearing apart the dash, many vehicles allow a full recalibration with just a button sequence. No tools, no disassembly. Start by turning the ignition to the on position, engine off. Locate the recirculate and defrost buttons on the climate panel. Press and hold both at the same time for 10 seconds. Some models require the air conditioning button instead of recirculate, so check the owner's manual if nothing happens. After 10 seconds, watch for the vents to cycle. Air may move from the floor to the dash, then to the windshield, as the actuators sweep through their full range. This process forces the system to find its endpoints, homing each blend door so the computer knows exactly where everything sits. Once the cycle finishes, release the buttons. The climate system should respond instantly, with proper temperature mixing and vent selection restored. If the problem lingers, a stripped gear or failed actuator may be to blame, but for most vehicles, this reset brings comfort back in under a minute. It is a widely applicable fix, especially on GM, Ford, and Chrysler models built after 2005. Just be gentle. Repeated resets on a failing actuator can finish it off and lead to a costly repair. For drivers, this button combination is the difference between sweating it out and restoring full control, all without breaking out the toolbox. 12 cars. 12 different warning lights, glitches, and stubborn electrical faults. Each one was tested with the full reset checklist, battery disconnect, OBD2 code clearing, fuse reseating, throttle and transmission adaptation, TPMS and window memory, infotainment, and HVAC, recalibration. Out of all 12, 9 returned to normal operation after these steps. 3 still needed a professional's touch. The numbers do not promise miracles, but they do show a pattern. Most common issues, especially those triggered by sensor noise, adaptive drift, or software hiccups, respond to a systematic reset routine. The trick is not magic, it is method. A SE-certified mechanic, Tom Alvarez, reviews the results. He says that if a car comes in with a check engine light or a glitchy module, he always starts with a controlled reset, but he also checks for codes that point to real danger. Some problems you should never clear at home. Alvarez highlights a short list that includes recurring misfire codes like P0300, brake and airbag faults starting with the letter C or the letter B, steering instability warnings, and network communication errors labeled with U codes. These are red flags, signals that the problem could affect safety or lead to a breakdown. Any code that returns immediately after a reset, or any code that triggers limp mode, belongs on that list too. The evidence from the 12-car test backs up what experienced technicians already know. A structured workflow, battery checks, fuses, software resets, and adaptation drives solves most nuisance faults, but it is not a cure-all. 3 vehicles in the sample needed a shop referral, one with a persistent brake system code, one with a failed throttle actuator, and one with a recurring transmission slip that adaptation could not fix. In each case, the reset trick revealed the limits of do-it-yourself troubleshooting and pushed the owner to get a real repair. For drivers, the decision tree is simple. Start with the safe resets. If the problem disappears and stays gone, you have saved time and money. If a warning light returns, or if you see a safety-related code, do not clear it and hope for the best. Get a professional diagnosis. The reset workflow is not just about fixing cars for free. It is about knowing when to try, when to stop, and when to trust the experts. That balance, empowerment with caution, keeps drivers in control without putting safety at risk. Across all 10 reset tricks, one pattern stands out. Modern cars aren't just machines, they're rolling computers, and most problems come down to digital confusion, not broken parts. The real secret isn't hidden in expensive repairs, but in understanding how to reboot complex systems. That power is now in every driver's hands. Ready to take control? Drop your craziest reset success story in the comments below.